Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for Day 2 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. College of the Canyons hosting as Orange Coast College will take on LA Trade Tech College in Game 3, the Consolation bracket game here today at 1 p.m. I'm Matt Robinson, happy to have you along with us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. Well, yesterday these two teams had tough outings, Orange Coast and LA Trade Tech. The Pirates had a three-game winning streak snapped when they lost to Mount San Antonio in the opening game, or their opening game of this tournament. They dropped 91 to 85 in what was a tight game, a little bit sloppy at times, but a good game nonetheless. Sam Hunter had 22 points in the loss, while Isaac Padilla and Mitchell Rollins and Cody Aquino all had double figures. On the other side for LA Trade Tech, they dropped their opening game to College of the Canyons, 83 to 80 in a tight game. They came back from an 18-point deficit going into the second half, rallied to even the game midway through the second half before running out of steam as Amari Ferguson led the way with 22 points. Romero Hutcherson had 18 to also score in double figures. For the Beavers, 7-3 on the year for Sherwin Morgan. For Orange Coast, 8-5 for Steve Spencer, the head coach. For the Pirates, they've had a lot of success here in the past at the Cougar Holiday Classic. They won 4 in a row from 2014 to 2017, but their bid came up just short. In 2018, their bid for number 5 as they lost to College of the Canyons, 101 to 93 last season. So trying to find another win, at least take third place here at the Cougar Holiday Classic. Their steal numbers have been impressive this year, 11th best in the state in steals at 10.3 per game, as Sam Hunter has been their leader, averaging 20.2 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Only freshman Isaac Padilla averages in double figures, averaging 12.8 points per game. The rebounding has been a struggle for Orange Coast this season. In all 5 of their losses, they've been outworked on the glass, being out-rebounded by a margin of minus 82 as a total in those 5 losses. So it's really been a tough go for them on the glass on both sides. For LA Trade Tech, they put up 146 points, a season high last Wednesday against Barstow, as Jonathan Fields had 22 points in the win, while Romero Hutcherson and Yanev Silvera added 23 and 24 points, respectively, off the bench. 6 different Beavers finished in double figures in that contest, as they were off to a 7-3 start before the loss yesterday, their best start since 2019, when they won 6 of their first 8 games en route to a 12-6 record. The offense for Trade Tech has been really good this year. It's been the key to their good start, averaging 86.8 points per game, which is right now, when you look at the state of California, it's actually 86.2, but it's 6th best in the state. They average 31.7 field goals made per game, which is 5th most, and 69.6 field goal attempts per game, which is 4th most. They make 8.5 threes per game, which is 17th best in the state. So the offense has been excellent. The defense has done a decent job at forcing turnovers, 12.1 steals per game, 3rd most in the state of California. And they have one of the best 3-point defenses in the state, holding opponents just 27.2% from behind the arc. That's 3rd best in California. Now, starters for both sides. For Orange Coast, it'll be Cody Aquino, Sam Hunter, Josh Govette, Isaac Padilla, and Mitchell Rollins on the floor, as Orange Coast will be in their orange uniforms attacking the goal to our right here in the first. For LA Trade Tech, all white with silver numbers today, as they'll go with Romero Hutcherson, Devin Jane Lett, Joshua Abrams, Omari Ferguson, and Yanev Silvera as their starters here today in what is game number 3 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. Remember, part of a triple header here today on the network, as we'll have men's basketball, the Cougar Holiday Classic Championship game, Mount San Antonio College and College of the Canyons, and then women's basketball as the 5th-ranked Palomar Comets come into town to take on a Lady Cougars at 5 p.m. Just waiting on officials to get themselves ready, as it'll be Jane Lett and Rollins to jump. Rollins wins the opening tip. Orange Coast will control as we are underway here in game number 3 of the Cougar Holiday Classic, Orange Coast and LA Trade Tech. Govette's pass tipped out of place, so it'll be basketball with Orange Coast still. The Pirates, part of the Orange Empire Conference, always a very competitive conference. You look down their schedule, and they'll play number 5 Fullerton, number 21 Santiago Canyon, number 29 Irvine. 5 games against ranked teams the rest of the year. Is a 3-pointer good to open up, and Orange Coast has a 3-0 lead. For Trade Tech, part of the South Coast Conference North Division. They'll play Mount San Antonio later on in the year in conference play. Of course, Mount Sac, 14th ranked in the state, is the 3-pointer from Hutcherson, no good. Rebound opportunities for Ferguson, but he has them both blocked. And Rollins will dribble it out of trouble here for Orange Coast. Aquino made the 3. He was sharp at times yesterday from downtown. We would expect him to be their key from the 3-point arc. Him and Sam Hunter, really guys that can shoot the ball. Padilla creates offense really off the dribble, as we saw yesterday. Has a tendency to turn the ball over a little bit too much. 3.2 turnovers per game. Leads the team. Aquino yesterday, 12 points, a rebound, 3 assists, 3 steals versus Mount Sac. In the loss is LA Trade Tech basketball. Jane Lett able to break the timeline, sent it over to Ferguson, dumps it off underneath to Abrams, who was shut out yesterday, and he had it blocked as both Rollins and Hunter with the block. I think Hunter took an elbow off the mouth, and then a foul running back up the floor as Abrams going to be called for the foul. So foul actually goes against Amari Ferguson, his first, and the first foul of the ballgame. Govette bounce pass inside to Rollins, spins baseline around Silvera, but lost the ball going up. Ferguson comes away with it. He'll dribble it up the floor, little stutter step, goes up with the left hand and miss, short. Rebound picked up by Govette, who will run it back up the floor and delay things a little bit for Orange Coast to get in position. Hunter underneath, Rollins under the basket, lays it up with the right hand, went to the left side of the hoop first, then changed his mind, came back to the right. Rollins yesterday, 13 points, 5 boards, a steal, a turnover in 30 minutes. 66% shooters. Abrams gets his first bucket of the tournament on the other end off of a fast break, and it's 5-2 here early on. Govette fouled. Ferguson going to pick up his second foul here in the first 3 minutes of the ball game. Rollins, 66% field goal shooter, 3rd best in the state. He does most of his work from inside the painted area, as we saw a few moments ago. Here's Hunter for 3, no good. They actually gave the foul to they did give the foul to Ferguson. And now they've switched it up. It was actually Jane Lett who picked up the foul, so they've got that secured. They initially put up 11, but then they gave it to Jane Lett. Five to 2 here, 3 minutes in. First half of game number 3 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. Little turnaround jumper, good. As Govette knocked it down. Trade Tech trying to run a fast break, nearly turned the ball over, lost it out of bounds, but they're able to pick it up. Here's Ferguson with the basketball, working down to the baseline, tried to send a pass into the corner for Silvera, and it's Orange Coast basketball. So at times we saw yesterday with Trade Tech a little sloppy at times. Ferguson kind of lifted his hand up, was asking maybe for a substitution, but he'll stay on the floor, it looks like. Fields was late to get to the table here. Sam Hunter knocks one down. 9-2 open for Orange Coast here. 4 of 5 from the floor so far as they trap Silvera, who sends it over towards Abrams. Aquino tipped it, so Abrams able to pick it back up. Hutcherson drives, lays it off the window and good. Was looking for a foul but didn't get it. Hutcherson had a nice night the other night, 18 points, a rebound, 3 assists. Hunter a 3, no good. A foul under the basket on Padilla for a push in the back. And it'll be LA Trade Tech basketball as Orange Coast will make wholesale subs. Trade Tech will bring in Fields and Jabril Jackson. We saw Orange Coast do this yesterday with the wholesale changes. Getting everybody into the game early on. So here's Fields trying to drive baseline, cut off there by Cordy. Abrams around the perimeter now. They work Jabril Jackson on the near side wing. He'll bounce it up top to Abrams. He'll dump it for Fields, who wanted to drive, instead kicked back to Jane Lett, over to Hutcherson for 3 from the wing. Hit off the heel of the rim, and a rebound pulled down by Zach Jones. Timothy Bahadur running the offense. Will send it on to the near side. Keon Young, he'll put up a 3 off the back of the rim as well, no good. Trade Tech trying to run fast break for Jane Lett, who missed on a layup. And Coast will go back the other way. Inside, Jones has a bucket. Jones only had 2 points yesterday. Picks up 2 here today as Trade Tech gonna call a timeout. 14:49 to go here in the first half. 11-4 in favor. Back in here at the Cougar Holiday Classic. Orange Coast leading Trade Tech 11-4. 5 minutes and 1 second into this first half. Jane Lett will bring it into play. Tech gonna try and run here a little bit. As Orange Coast came out in the full court press. Here's Jackson trying to drive. Travel gonna be called on Jackson. Didn't keep his foot down. Lee'll send it onto the far side to Keon Young as Coast back to work offensively. Cordy will dump it. Bahadur, a 3 from the wing in rhythm, no good. Rebound picked up by Lee after it bounced off Cordy, and then he's fouled by Abrams on a reach. Third foul on Trade Tech here early on. Somebody from Orange Coast needs to get out of play to bring the ball back in, and they'll have Isaiah Lee walk over. He'll get it to Bahadur, and they'll go back to work. Jones just spinning around, dumps it off Young. Inside Lee, little baby hook in the lane is good. Isaiah Lee, who had 8 points, a rebound, an assist in 16 minutes against Mount Sac, puts one in. Lee, normally a 3-point specialist, shooting 50% from 3. Hutcherson missed on the layup and then was unhappy afterwards. So Coast on a 5-on-4 for a moment. Will kick back to Lee, and he's going to be called for a travel. Jerome Smith taking over for Hutcherson, who's going to check out. 5 fresh bodies on the floor for Orange Coast as they'll send the starters back out. Abrams off as well, as they'll bring Ronnie Davis into the game for the first time for Trade Tech. Coast still in a full court press. Smith and Janelette able to break it. Fields up top. Janelette will step into a three that's short. Padilla able to pull down the rebound. He'll sprint ahead. Hunter driving with the right, kicks it over. Aquino, wing three on the way from the left hand, no good. Rebound pulled down by Jackson. Dribbles through a couple of Pirates, then is fouled by Rollins running back up the floor. Both teams a little unorganized on the inbound plays from the sideline, but they figure it out. So here's Jackson. Janelette dumps it off Smith. Around the perimeter now for Trade Tech. Smith again. Now onto the near side. Fields tries to drive. Had it blocked by Hunter. Aquino was there for help as well. Hunter will run into a transition three that misses. Rollins couldn't pull down the rebound as Jackson was able to come away. He'll get it back to Fields, who goes to the basket but misses on a layup. Tip rebound, Govette. Ahead, Rollins. Under the basket, reverse lane is good. Rollins now with 4. As Orange Coast in a 15-4 advantage here. An 11-point lead. We can do math early on as Janelette throws it out to the far side. Davis thought about a three, then drove baseline, tried to send it across to the near side, had it tipped out of play. So it'll stay with Tech here. 12:27 to go in the first half, 15-4 in favor of Orange Coast. There's Jackson with the basketball. We'll get it up to Fields. Janelette into the corner for a three is good. That's a nice shot from Devin Janelette. Just his 4th three of the season, but remember, he's only played 3 games so far this year. 42% three-point shooter on the year. Knocks that one down to get Trade Tech back within striking distance here. Govette, a long layup that doesn't go. Rollins trying to tip the rebound to himself, but had it stolen away by Fields. Back the other way comes Tech. Smith, little floater, no good. Tipped the ball away from Hunter, so it'll stay with Orange Coast off the rebound. Dangerous pass, Padilla comes away with it. Aquino lost the dribble, got it to Govette. Calling for some help, got it to Padilla on the wing on the far side. Skips it inside to Rollins on a bounce pass. Foul trying to go up by Janelette. And Rollins will go to the line. If you're gonna foul anybody on the Coast team, it is Rollins. Just a 36% free throw shooter. And you'll see a well, not say strange technique, a different technique. Pretty much holds the ball in his right hand and then pushes it up, trying anything he can to shoot better from the free throw line, and has just struggled. Just 19 of 53 on the year as he misses the first. Second rattles in and out. Put his hands on his head afterwards, thought he had knocked it down. Foul on the floor on Orange Coast, goes against Padilla. Already the second on Padilla here today. Josiah Johnson coming in to take over for Janelette, who will get a spell. Smith got it over to Davis for 3 on the wing, but it didn't fall. Padilla pulls down the rebound, outlets to Govette, will bring it up the floor. He wants to drive, stops at the block, kicks it back Padilla. Stopped at the foul line, thought about a shot, now spinning around. Now he'll put one up with the left hand and gets it to roll. That's a nice play from Isaac Padilla. Kind of couldn't decide on what he wanted to do, but has his first bucket of the ball game. Back the other way on a fast break. Counted in the foul for Ronnie Davis, as Rollins going to be signaled for the foul. Davis had 4 points last night in 11 minutes. Gets a bucket here, as Rollins will check out with what is his second foul, as they'll bring Zach Jones back in. Davis, 72.5% from the line this year. Misses on the only foul shot. Hunter pulls away the rebound. Tech in a press, trying to trap. Ball tipped. Came right back to Hunter. Dumps it underneath to Jones, who's fouled, trying to go up. And Zach Jones will go to the line, the freshman out of Coronado del Sol High School in Tempe, Arizona. Just a 50% foul shooter on the year. Hasn't had many opportunities. Just his 9th and 10th opportunities from the line coming up. Bajador and Lee coming back in for Govet and Padilla. As Jones makes the first. Second there as well, so it's a 10-point lead, 19-9, 10:37 to go here in the first half between Trade Tech and Orange Coast. Game number 3 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. Championship game coming up at 3 o'clock or later. As a 3 from Jonathan Fields is good. Fields, a 40% three-point shooter on the year. His 15th 3 of the season, had 9 points the other night. Or last night, we should say, with 4 rebounds and a couple assists in 27 minutes. Trying to pick up where he left off. Another foul underneath the basket on Trade Tech. As Jones back to the line for 2 more. Jones, that same one-handed foul shot, but this one is good. Jones makes them both. Corner 3 in transition, partially blocked. Good closeout by Lee. Jones came away with it. And Lee will sling it ahead. Aquino is on the sideline. Looked like his toe was cleanly on the sideline, and it'll be basketball for Trade Tech here. Govet coming in to take over for Lee. Trade Tech back to work. Smith underneath. Blocked as Jackson went up. Picked up by Johnson. Now to Davis, spinning in the lane. And then threw it out of play. There's Aquino far side now for Orange Coast. Drives off the window and good. Aquino with his second bucket of the game has 5 points now. It's an 11-point lead. That one goes out off the Pirates. It'll be Trade Tech basketball. Rollins coming to check back in for Jones. Rollins with 2 fouls. Padilla with 2 fouls. Janelette with 2 fouls for Trade Tech here in the first half. Fields to Johnson, back up to Fields. Jackson now with it on the far side, guarded by Hunter. Wants to take Hunter off the dribble, sent it into the corner. Johnson didn't catch cleanly, wanted to go in rhythm for a 3, instead shot an air ball after a couple of dribbles. Back the other way comes Coast. Bajador will send it to Govet. Near side, Hunter, 3 from the side is good. Hunter, who is so very good offensively for Orange Coast, makes it a 14-point Pirate lead. Hunter this year, 20.2 points per game. That's 10th most in the state of California. He's scored 262 points coming in today, which is 13th most in California. He's a 42% three-point shooter. He's made 30 now three-pointers, which is 45th in California. He's a minutes eater, too. 396 minutes on the year, which is 31st. 30.5 minutes per game, which is 39th. He's made 100 field goals on, or 99 field goals on the year, which is 8th most. Just a minutes eater. Oh, by the way, he's also a pretty good foul shooter as well, shooting 83%, which is 41st in California. Leads the team in field goal percentage at 47% from the floor. So clearly a guy you want to have marked if you can. Last year averaged 11.6 with 4 rebounds, an assist to steal a game. Already with 5 points on the day. Riding right now what's a pretty impressive streak. 14 straight games with 10 or more points dating back to January 23rd. 20 last night against Mount Sac, so trying to keep that alive here today. So Trade Tech back with the basketball. Jackson will send it far side to Davis. Smith now back to Jackson on the near side. Up top, Smith. Smith wanting to drive against Hunter. Slips him, sent it towards the corner. Tipped out by Bajador, so it'll stay with Tech here. It's a 14-point advantage for the Pirates. Fields, Davis stepped on the sideline. Shot will not count. Didn't make it anyway, so it's another turnover on LA Trade Tech. Four for each side of the ball game here early on. Lee will dump it for Hunter. Hunter steps into a 20-footer that's short. Rollins able to save the rebound, finds Lee over to Govet. Wing 3 on the way, short. Hunter the rebound, but had it knocked out of his hands by Omari Ferguson. That's a really nice play from Ferguson. And then a blocking foul on the other side called on Govet will send, I believe, Ronnie Davis to the line here. So Davis heads to the line. Second trip for him today. Misses the first. Second is good. So lead down to 13. Trade Tech in a press. Orange Coast broke it. Padilla had a shot but missed. Trade Tech gonna run the other way. Passing between Ferguson and Smith. He leads to a bucket. It's back to an 11-point game. Hunter lost the ball. Keno checking back in here. Lead down to 11, was 14. A foul on a 3 by Isaiah Lee. It's gonna send Jonathan Fields to the line for 3. Fields a 72% three-point shooter on the year. All three foul shots good for Fields. Cuts the lead back to 8. Hutcherson and Jane Lett back into the game here. Covette back in for Orange Coast. 26-18, 7:07 to go here in the first half. Three-pointer, Jane Lett on the way is good. Second three for Jane Lett here today. He's got 6 now. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point game. Lead was 14. Steal by Fields. Ahead. Easy bucket for Smith. It's a one-possession game all of a sudden. Orange Coast turns it over again. Just a struggle by the Pirates right now. Thought Steve Spencer might call a timeout, but instead keeps things where it's at. An 11-0 Orange Coast run right now. Jane Lett, 18-footer, too strong. Smith nearly tipped it back in, but Rollins was able to come up and get it off the second opportunity. Here's Rollins. Hunter, Padilla, corner Aquino, into the middle to Hunter. 8-footer, no good. Rebound pulled down by the smaller Fields as he was able to get up over Rollins. Smith in the corner to tie it up at 26 all. It's a 14-0 Trade Tech run. Orange Coast seen their lead evaporate in about 2 minutes. For Orange Coast, they were up 14 with 8:43 to go here in the first half, and with 5:48 to go, so a 3-minute swing. It's tied at 26. Foul called on Trade Tech will send Orange Coast to the line, and it'll send Sam Hunter to the line for the first trip today. Both foul shots good for Hunter. So it's a 2-point Orange Coast lead. Three-pointer from Hutcherson, no good. Rebound picked up by Brown. They'll send it over. Ferguson, a 3 for the lead, no. And Govette pulls down the rebound. Expect Trade Tech to continue shooting threes. That's really their game. 4 of 11 so far in the day. 3 from Aquino in the corner is good. It's a 5-point lead now for Orange Coast. Hutcherson lost the ball. Hunter with Padilla on a 2-on-1. Draws the foul. They'll say it's on the floor, but it will send Hunter to the line for 1-and-1. Hunter makes the first. 3 of 3 from the line so far today. Seven-point lead now as Bahador comes back in to take over for Hunter. Coast still at a full court press here as Brown will bring it ahead. Three-pointer Fields too strong. Ferguson the rebound. Nice athleticism from Ferguson, just couldn't finish it off. Lee able to come away with a fought rebound, but had it stolen by Ferguson, who goes up and finishes over Aquino with 2 hands and draws the foul. And then a technical foul going to be called, I think, against Jonathan Fields afterwards. And no, they gave Ferguson the technical foul right after. So they'll have a technical foul shot on one side and then Ferguson off the other side. So Govett will go to the line for technical foul shots, knocks down the first. So any momentum that Tech had just created, stalled by the technical foul on Omari Ferguson. We had a chance for a three-point play. Govett makes both. So it's back to a 7-point lead. Sherman Morgan not happy about the technical foul call, and I understand it. As a coach, you want to let your players be excited, especially with such a big play from Omari Ferguson, but they do have the rules in place that I think Ferguson, all he did was flex. He didn't even do anything that was deemed terrible, but that's enough in the 3C2A to draw you the technical foul. And really, that's the NCAA as well, because we play under NCAA rules for the most part. Ferguson does make the foul shot, so he cuts the lead back to 6. Keno nearly had it stolen, then nearly threw it away. Lee was able to save it, but it's picked up by Trade Tech. They try and go showtime for Ferguson, but Bahador got a hand on it. Another miss from Orange Coast. Now Jane Lett trying to drive, draws the foul. First from Jane Lett, no good. Jane Lett was 2 for 2 yesterday from the foul line, but 0 for 2 today, so now 50% on the season. Bahador, 17-footer is good. It's a good step-away shot from Bahador, gets the lead back up to 8. Bahador 2 points yesterday. Matches that here today. Lee able to block Fields, who went up, and then Ferguson was fouled after he picked it up. So Ferguson back to the line for another trip. Hunter with 9, Aquino with 8, Jones with 6, Lee, Govett, and Rollins all with 4. Padilla with 2 for Orange Coast. Smith with 7, Jane Lett with 6, Fields with 6, Ferguson and Davis with 3, Hutchison and Abrams with 2. Ferguson, a 63% foul shooter on the season, makes the first. Had a good night last night. 22 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 27 minutes in the loss. Averages 16.8 per to lead Orange Coast this year. 49th in the state in points per game as he knocks both down. Oh, by the way, he's also a 50% three-point shooter at 12 for 24 coming into today. Which is 7th best in California. Here's Lee trying to drive for Orange Coast, dumps it off underneath. Jones fouled, and Jones will go to the line. Jones makes both, so it's back to an 8-point lead. And then a foul on the inbound play, so we'll have 2 shots on the other end as both teams in the plus with 3:35 to go here in the first half. So we'll send Jaden Brown to the line, a 60% foul shooter, rattles the first one home. Brown yesterday just 4 points in 22 minutes, or actually, let me look at that right. 4 points in 6 minutes. Makes both. So Brown gets himself on the score sheet, his first 2 points of the day. 6-point lead. Tech at a press. Coast able to break it. Aquino trapped in the corner, got it to Hunter. Hunter sends it far side, Govette. A dangerous cross-court pass. Govette able to dribble it and find an open look for Hunter, who missed. Aquino couldn't get the rebound, but it came to Jones, who's fouled and scores on the lay-in. Zach Jones having a good day so far. He's got 10 now and will go to the line for the three-point play. 6 of his 10 from the foul line today. And he's 2 for 2 from the floor. Misses on that foul shot. First miss from the line today. And he's in double figures. Turnover from Trade Tech. Coast back the other way. Hunter stops his dribble. Finds Lee. Three-pointer from deep. Air ball. Picked up by Trade Tech. They send it ahead to Jane Lett, who finishes with 2 hands on the breakaway. Jane Lett with 8 now. Trade Tech another steal as Jones lost it. Fields steps into an 18-footer that's short. Hunter the rebound. Outlets to Aquino. Aquino far side of the floor. Looking for help. Sends it up to Lee. Over Govette. Bounce pass inside. Jones at the block. Spinning against Jane Lett. Had it knocked out of his hands. Picks it back up. Got it to Lee on the near side wing. His pass, not a good one. Too high and away from Hunter. Back the other way comes Trade Tech, but an offensive foul called against Josiah Jones. And it'll give the ball back to Orange Coast here with 2:11 to go in a 41-35 game. 6-point lead for Orange Coast. Isaac Padilla checking back in. Here's Hunter. 18-footer is good. Hunter now with 11 in the ball game, gets into double figures for the 15th straight game dating back to January 23rd. Part of last season is a timeout called on the floor. A full timeout by LA Trade Tech will go as well.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do, and the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health. UCLA
Sam Hunter, Zach Jones, 11 and 10 points for Orange Coast as they lead 43 to 35. 8-point lead for the Pirates. Nobody in double figures for Trade Tech. First of a triple header today here on the network, as we'll have Mount San Antonio College and College of the Canyons in the Cougar Holiday Classic Championship game at 3 o'clock or around about there. And then women's basketball, if you want to join us for that as well later today. It should be a fun one with the number 5 team in the state of California in town, in Palomar. Good pass inside. Jane Lett finishes it off. Brown with the assist that time. Trade Tech gets a much-needed bucket. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Aquino with a basketball will send it to Padilla. Pump fakes a couple of times, sends it near side, Govette. Govette back up top, Hunter. Hunter thinking about things. Now we'll send it back to Govette, who wants to drive. Drops it off for Hunter. Wing 3 on the way is good. That's a nice shot from Sam Hunter. He's starting to find a stroke again. As the lead back up to 9. Hunter now with 14 in the ball game. Good pass inside. Brown was underneath, finds himself a little open space as he dribbled out from underneath the painted area and knocked it down. Brown now with 4 points in the ball game. Cuts the lead back to 7. Here's Govette for Orange Coast. Hunter on the near side now, guarded by Brown. Inside Govette, block extended against the smaller Jackson, goes up with the right hand, puts it off the window. Jackson at 6 foot, but tough to guard Govette, who's 6'4" with a guard handle. That one tipped out by Jones. Tech moving the ball around the perimeter. 3-pointer on the way. No good from Jackson, but they say it went up off the top of the backboard. No, actually there was a foul on Jane Lett. That's what they called. So it'll be 2 shots for Orange Coast here with 17.5 to go. It's the 3rd foul on Devin Jane Lett. Trade Tech gonna stay with him here for the final 17 and a half. Isaiah Lee coming in to take over here in a second as Padilla at the line to shoot 2. 61% foul shooter this year. We'll get Bajador in the game as well for the final 17 and a half seconds. First from Padilla is good. Bajador takes in for Aquino. Padilla's second, no good. Hunter able to get the rebound and puts it back in. 12-point lead here for Orange Coast. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson got it ahead. Davis drops it off. 3-pointer from Brown, no good. Padilla the rebound ahead. Govette, but that'll end the first half. Orange Coast a 51-39 lead as we go into the halftime break here over LA Trade Tech. We'll take a timeout. Second half when we come back.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, big, two. Hand down. One hand, up. Up. Flip. I could eat. Slice right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable. Always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
At Jersey Mike's, they freshly slice your sub right in front of you. which takes some training.
Rising up, bread's on the sheet. Did my time, took out my toppings. Went the distance, now my prep is complete. Just a limb and its will to thrive. It's the arm of the slicer, it's the thrill of the slice. Freshly sliced before your eyes, unlike our rivals. And then every last arriver gets a sub that excites. And it's all thanks to the well-trained arm of the slicer.
Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, up, big two. Hand down. One hand, up. No. Flip.
I could eat.
Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable. Always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now.
Getting ready for second half action here on the Cougar Sports Network. Orange Coast College, LA Trade Tech College, game number 3 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. First half numbers, Orange Coast 17 of 30, 4 of 12 from 3, 13 of 17 from the line. They had 11 turnovers in that first half, 27 total rebounds. 8 assists, 5 blocks, 2 steals, and 11 fouls with 51 points on the board. Sam Hunter leading the way with 16 for them. On the other side for Trade Tech, 13 of 39, 4 of 15 from 3, 9 of 13 from the free throw line. 6 turnovers, 16 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 steals, and 12 fouls as Devin Janelette leading the way for them, as it'll be Trade Tech basketball to start here in the second half. They actually took 2 points away from Zach Jones I believe gave them to Sam Hunter, so Jones now not in double figures, as we said earlier on. Trade Tech turns it over on their first possession of the second half. And then a travel called on Orange Coast. So neither team clean on their first possession of the second half. Something I don't think I've ever seen. Orange Coast actually didn't come out to shoot around a little bit before the second half. They came out with about a minute remaining on the halftime clock. Did a couple of jumping jacks and have gone back to work. Foul on Joshua Abrams going over the top of Rollins on a rebound. And so 3 whistles in the first minute. Trade Tech in a press. They're going to try and trap Hunter in the corner here. Hunter going to be called for a travel as he never kept his plant foot down. Jerome Smith with the basketball, guarded by Govette. There's no score in the first minute here of the second half. Kickball called on Padilla, so a reset here for Trade Tech. Janelette able to just get it in time. Ferguson will make the catch and work to the middle of the floor. Janelette spinning, turnaround 18-footer, no good. Really actually a 20-footer. Fell into the lap of Rollins, who dribbles it ahead. Govette will work the point now. Bounce past Padilla. Near the top of the key, drops for Hunter. A foul away from the basketball on Trade Tech against Silvera. And actually, they called it on Joshua Abrams. I thought it was going to be against Silvera, but it was Abrams underneath the basket. Abrams, who fouled out yesterday, now with 3 fouls here. 2 quick ones in this second half. Hunter sends it Padilla, top of the three-point arc. He'll put up a 3 and knocks it down. Padilla just 7 of 25 coming in today from 3, has a big one there. The largest lead of the day at 15 for Orange Coast. And then a 3 on the other side. I believe Janelette, then a turnover, and Ferguson gets a lay-in. It's a 5-0 run. It's actually Jerome Smith on the 3. One out off of Trade Tech, so it'll stay with Orange Coast. Isaiah Lee checking back in. Rollins trying to drive against Smith and gets the kiss off the window. Turnover from Trade Tech. Coast gets another takeaway. Rollins called for a travel. Bahador into the game to take over for Govette here. Silvera, corner 3, rattles in and out. Abrams the rebound, sends it to Ferguson. Coast has led the whole way, haven't trailed so far in the ball game. Silvera, a 3 is good, gets it to a 9-point game. Takeaway, Trade Tech. Smith to Ferguson, who's fouled from Lee. Trying for some showtime. Ferguson was about 6 inches from the rim as he tried to stuff that still. I've sent Ferguson back to the line for 2. Ferguson was 7 in the ball game so far. It's 3 for 3 from the line, makes the first. Zach Jones checking back in. Seven to 2 Trade Tech run. Lead back down to 7. Bahador dribbling out of some trouble. Stolen by Ferguson. Breakaway for Smith, lays it in, make it a 9-2 run. And a timeout on the floor called by Orange Coast College. Trade Tech right back in it. They trail by 5. There'll be a full timeout, will go as well.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, big, hand down. One hand, up. Up. Flip.
I could eat.
Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
So Trade Tech on a 9-2 run. It's cut the lead down to 5. It's 56-51. Was a 12-point halftime lead that got stretched up to 15 early on in this second half. Coast trying to bring it in after the ball was tipped out. They'll get it to Govette. Around the perimeter here, Aquino now with it. That Govette, who will hold on for a second, got it to Hunter. Now Aquino straight away. Back to Hunter with 5 to shoot. Hunter needs to get one off and draws a foul. Will go to the line. Foul on Jane Lett is his 4th. I'll bring Ronnie Davis back in. Hunter made the first. Second is there as well. Seven-point lead once again for Coast. Here's Smith. Jerome Smith stays hot. He's got 14 now in the ball game. Only had 2 points last night, but surpassed a season high here today. His season high was 9. So he's done some good work off the bench today. Govette, fall-away jumper, finds the roll. Govette's got 8 now, stretches the lead back to 7. Davis sprinting ahead. Dumped it underneath, was looking for Abrams, and Govette just stepped right in and took it away. That pass from Govette that time. Hunter tried everything he could to keep it in play, but could not. Abrams called for a travel. Foul away from the basketball. Goes against Silvera. There's Hunter now for Orange Coast. Inside Govette. Govette again with another mismatch, this time with Jaden Brown. Brown at 5'10", Govette at 6'4", and again Govette handles the ball like a guard, so very tough to guard inside. Davis knocks down Lee, missed on his little right-handed hook. Then it goes out off of Davis and Abrams, and it'll go with Orange Coast here as they lead once again by 9. Silvera couldn't finish, but follow up from Ferguson as he stuffs it home. Omari Ferguson now in double figures with 11. As they turn the turnover into points once again. Hunter got it to Govette, back to Hunter. Wide open look from 15, no good. Davis the other way, just wants to sprint it right ahead. And will sprint into a corner and send it over to Ferguson. Ferguson draws the foul on Lee. Bajador, Padilla, and Rollins back in to take over for Hunter, Lee, and Jones. Ferguson never established him, so no, they called a foul on Abrams for a moving screen. That's Abrams' fourth. That brings Fields back in. I thought they were going to say Ferguson never reestablished himself as he was out of bounds, but they called a moving screen on Abrams. Abrams unhappy over at the bench. Govette called for a travel. So you got Jeanlett and Abrams both with 4 fouls in the ballgame. Nobody on the Orange Coast side at that point yet. A couple of guys with 3. Ferguson, an easy finish off a nice pass from Davis. Ferguson now cuts the lead back to 5. Blocking foul going to be called against Brown. Govette looking for some help, now wants to drive, goes right to the rack and missed. Back the other way, Davis sprints it ahead. Ferguson now, far corner. Drives baseline, sends it near side. Silvera, 3 is good. It's a 2-point game as Silvera has his first 3 of the day. Scratch that, his second 3 of the day. He's got 6 now. And then Davis gets a takeaway. Dumps it, Ferguson goes up to the basket, tried to lay it in, no. Putback doesn't fall. Rollins the rebound, dribbles himself out of some trouble as Fields and Ferguson both had opportunities. Now Padilla back the other way, he puts it right off the window. Tight game, 64-60 here. Silvera for his second 3 in a row, that time no good from the other side. There's Rollins, had it turned over. Taken away by Silvera. Sends it over. 3 on the way from Brown, partially blocked. Padilla able to come away with it. Thought he got fouled by Fields, but we play on. Go Vet. Over to Bajador. He'll drive. Stops in the paint, spins around, sends one up, and is fouled by Ferguson. It's the 4th on Ferguson. At least that's what the scoreboard says. The stat sheet says that's 3. Ferguson off along with Brown. Smith and Jackson back in. Isaiah Lee in as well. Rollins taking over for Govet here. Bajador misses on both opportunities. Smith for Jackson, up top Davis, 3, no. Easy rebound for Padilla. Coast back to work on offense. Rollins draws the foul and will go to the line. Only one other game in action right now. Chaffee leading Santa Barbara 71-64 with 11:24 in the second half. Bunch of games on the schedule at 3 o'clock and later here today, so we'll keep you updated on those if we can. Rollins to the line for a pair. Rollins so far today, 0 for 2 from the line with 6 points. Hunter checking back in to take over for Bajador. Lane violation on Davis. So it'll give Rollins a second shot here. He misses though. Lee with the rebound, blocked and fouled from behind by, we'll say Fields, I think is who they're gonna give it to. No, it looks like they're gonna give it to Ronnie Davis. So it'll send Lee to the line, 75% foul shooter on the year. Makes the first. For Davis, his second foul. Josiah Johnson checking back in. Lee makes both. Davis. Straight Tech trails by 6 now. Got all the way down to 2. Couldn't quite get it back to even. They've trailed the whole game as Coast has done a good job to keep him at arm's reach. Too much on that pass from Johnson. Keon Young back into the game for Orange Coast. Turnover by the Pirates here. So both teams struggling for the last few moments. A little slow down in the game as Jackson will pick it up. Guarded by Lee. Drives around him, lays it off the window, doesn't get it to fall. Lee with the rebound, dribbles out of trouble. Runs into Smith. Sends it on the near side, Hunter. Wing three in transition, no. Tip put back from Rollins, good. Timeout called by Orange Coast. 68-60 the lead with 10:13 to go here in the second half. Pirates out. So we check back in with 10:13 to go. (68-60) in favor of Orange Coast. Brown, a three in transition, no. Pulled down by Johnson, got it inside, and Jackson able to finish it off. Another steal this time from Trade Tech, but couldn't do anything with it as Lee was able to take it away, but then he turned it over. Smith, three is good. Jerome Smith stays hot as he's got 17 now. Cuts the lead back to a one-possession game. Lee to Padilla. Back to Lee. Over to Young, now Lee, a three that's short from deep. Picked up by Davis. Sent ahead to Smith. Smith onto the side to Johnson. Johnson, 17-footer, no. Davis, a rebound, putback is there. It's a one-point game. Davis now with 5 in the ball game. Hunter and Govette, 18 and 10 for Orange Coast. Smith, Ferguson, Jane Lett, 17, 13, and 10 for Trade Tech as Hunter right back to the basket. That's good body control by the young man as he gets up and lays it in. Give him 20 now in the ball game to match his season average. Smith for 3, a little heat check from him as he's been good so far today. 7 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3, but he missed that one. Young back the other way. Got to the rack, no. Rollins there for the putback is good. Run the floor back and forward we go. Trade Tech gonna call a timeout. 72-67, Orange Coast in the lead with 8:23 to go. It'll be a 30-second timeout. They'll stretch it to a full. Back in Cougar Cage as we go 72-67. No shot for Jane Lett as a foul on the floor. Called the foul on Padilla, his third. Nine fouls on Trade Tech, just 3 on Orange Coast here. So 3 on the way, no good. Padilla able to get the rebound. Young, or is it Lee down there that looks hurt? No, it's Young. Hunter misses. Smith a 3, no good, but the rebound pulled down by Jackson. He got it back to Josiah Johnson, who knocks down a 3, and it's a 2-point game once again. Padilla a 3, no good. Rebound pulled down by Trade Tech. Outlet ahead to Brown. Steps into a 2, and we're tied at 72. Second time today, Trade Tech is evened the score. Blocking foul called against Smith. First foul on Smith. And it's going to send Keon Young, who's a 30% foul shooter, to the line. Pirates in the plus for the last 7 minutes and 22 seconds here. Young knocks down the first. Young makes them both. So OCC back with a 2-point lead. Govette coming back in. Jane Lett in there with 4 fouls. Ferguson still on the bench for Trade Tech. Here's Smith, thought about a 3. Instead will bring it ahead. Got it to Jackson. Jackson back up top to the near side of the front court. 8 to work here for Jackson. Isolation against Aquino. Sends it to the far side. Brown a 3 for the lead. And Trade Tech has their first lead of the ball game at 6:50, 75 to 74. Padilla a 3 on the other side, no good. For Coast, they've led the whole way since the opening tip. And another 3, this time from Jane Lett. It's a 4-point Trade Tech lead. Coast led for 13 plus minutes. Rollins wasn't ready. It's a turnover on the Pirates. Bajador taking over for Padilla. Jones checking back in. And for the first time today, the Pirates will play from behind and trailing by 4 with 6:06 to go. Smith has had the hot hand so far today with 17. Working against Johnson. Got it over to Brown, who took the shot to give Trade Tech the lead. Now to Jane Lett. Puts up a deep 3 with 1 on the shot clock. Hit the front of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by Jabril Jackson. Smith catches, then got run into by Bajador, draws the foul. Smith been very slippery today, but he turns that one over. Hunter back the other way, an easy finger roll lay-in. And a timeout called by Orange Coast. It's a 2-point game, 78-76, a full timeout on the floor with 5:19 to go. We'll take a break. (78-76). LA Trade Tech leading here. 5:19 to go. Orange Coast led for 34 minutes. With 6:50 to go, LA Trade Tech took their first lead and find themselves with a 2-point lead here, although they turn it over. Coast back to work. Hunter fouled on the floor by Brown, so he'll go to the line for 2 to try and tie the game. Ferguson back in. As he takes over for Brown. And quickly the other way, Jane led after the makes from Hunter, knocks a layup in. Back to a 2-point lead. Aquino for the lead, an air ball. Coast comes out in the press, trying to break it was Trade Tech. They got it ahead. Bajador tipped one out of play, so it'll stay with Trade Tech here. Isaiah Lee coming back in to take over for Bajador. 4:42 to go. 80-78 in favor of LA Trade Tech. Foul on Lee on the inbound. It's the 4th foul on Lee. Shane Lett, block extended, trying to back Lee down. Fall away jumper too strong. Lee the rebound. Got it to Aquino. Aquino trying to drive and is fouled going up. They give the foul to Jabril Jackson. First foul on Jackson. Aquino 72% from the line this year. Makes the first trip today for him. Second is good as well. So we're even at 80 all. It's Ferguson just sprinting it ahead. Drops it for Davis under the basket. No. Altered that time by Zach Jones. Hunter was able to come down with the rebound. Good passing from Jones to find Hunter streaking after Aquino got it to Jones. Then Jones gets a steal, gets it right back to Hunter. 4-point swing off a couple of great plays from Zach Jones, the freshman out of Coronado del Sol. Hunter now with 26. Orange Coast back with a 4-point lead as we'll take a break. So as we come back in, 84-80 in favor of Orange Coast. Sam Hunter has 28 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 3 steals. His 15th straight game in double figures. Then you have Cody Aquino with 10, Josh Govette with 10, Mitchell Rollins his second double-double of the year, 10 points, 11 rebounds for him. On the other side for Trade Tech, Jerome Smith leading the way with a season-high 17. Jane Lett with 15. And Omari Ferguson with 13. Every time Orange Coast has thought they had Trade Tech down, the Beavers have found a way to come back. Now they need to do it again with 3:44 to go. Jane Lett, a 3 from the corner is good. Boy, Devin Jane Lett, you see why they missed him so far early in the year, even though they went 7-3. He certainly can affect the game. You see another 3 from him there. He's got 18 now to lead the way for LA Trade Tech. So here's Govette taking his time, 9 to shoot, driving baseline. Had it poked out of his hand. Good job by Jackson to get in there. Now got it to Smith. Smith, corner, Davis, 3 for the lead, no. Isaiah Lee the rebound, had it poked out of his hand by Jabril Jackson. Good work from Jackson. Dumps it inside, Ronnie Davis, an easy 2-point bucket. Davis with 7 now as Trade Tech back out in front by 1. 85-84, 2:44 to go. Tight one here in game 3 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. Govette. Hunter. Hunter driving, 2 big steps, stops floater off the window, no. Couldn't get his own rebound. Smith back the other way. Stops at the foul line. Tried to dish it inside to Ferguson, and Zach Jones, who's made a couple of big plays in the last 3 minutes, has another steal. Lee wanted to get it inside to Aquino. Instead, we'll get it back to Govette. 1-point game. Trade Tech leading 85-84. Aquino thought he got fouled, missed it. Nobody getting back on defense fast enough, but Ferguson lost the ball. Jackson picks it back up. Euro step into the lane, and he's got it. It's a 3-point LA Trade Tech lead as they'll take a timeout with 1:50 to go here in the ball game. 87-84. Trade Tech in front.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
87-84. Trade Tech leading, Orange Coast with the basketball. Govette missed on the inside. Rebound pulled down Ferguson. Outlets to Davis, who's got plenty of speed, and he's fouled going up and then crashed into the end wall. Looks like he's all right. He'll go to the line. Davis makes the first to make it a 4-point game, makes the second as well. Davis having a nice night with 8 points now in the ball game. All of a sudden, it's a 5-point Trade Tech lead, and Ferguson goes showtime to finish after the steal from Hunter. It's a 7-point Trade Tech lead now. And a timeout called by the Pirates here with 1:02 to go. 91-84. Omari Ferguson with 2 of his 15 just a moment ago. A little bit of an exclamation point on a comeback if they can hold it out. Orange Coast has had the lead for most of the game, 34 minutes, but Trade Tech with some good work in the second half closed the gap, find themselves with a 7-point lead. Pirates shooting 52% from the floor, 28 of 53, 5 of 18 from 3. The problem has been 26 turnovers by Orange Coast, leading to 27 Trade Tech points. For Trade Tech, 30 of 80, so well above their numbers on the year. 41%, 12 of 35 from 3. Like we said, those 27 points off turnovers. There's another turnover have been the difference. Ferguson again goes up, finishes with the left hand, and draws the foul. Foul goes against Padilla, his 4th. It's the 14th takeaway for Orange Coast today. They've been out-rebounded 42-36, but has not mattered as they lead by 10 with 49 seconds to go. 94-84, Govette quickly, kicks back Aquino, 3 on the way, missed it. Rebound pulled down Jane Lett, sends it out to Smith. Smith can waste some time here. Pirates needed to foul, and they have not. So Orange Coast try to chase now as Trade Tech Ferguson has it. Now they just need to get a steal. Ferguson dumps it off. Davis goes. Padilla the block. Outlet ahead. Rollins goes right up and tried to finish with the right hand and missed. Tried to go for a one-handed slam with the right and did not get it. And LA Trade Tech completes the comeback. They'll dribble out the final 8 seconds. They take it 94-84 over Orange Coast. They improve to 8-4 on the year. For the Pirates, they fall to 8-6, drop both their games here at the Cougar Holiday Classic. That one in tough fashion as they led most of the night. Could not come away with the win. That'll do it for us here on the first one. We'll have game number 2. Approximately 3:15, we'll say. We'll see how much time they put on the clock. Cougar Holiday Classic Championship game, Mount San Antonio College. College of the Canyons, make sure you flip over to the other side for that one. As for this one, LA Trade Tech, a 94-84 win over Orange Coast.